Welcome to the final wrap-up episode of the fall semester. I'm your host, Sarah Jones. This week, we've got Breon and Jimmy talking about the Lonzo situation in the NBA, Jake and Justin talking about the AFC playoff picture, and the debut of Corey with Matt with the first college basketball segment. First off, we'll hear from Jimmy and Breon on whether it's too early to determine if Lakers rookie Lonzo Ball is a bust.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Brown, alongside here with Breon Young as always, and we're here to give you your NBA update. Today I want to talk about the Ball family. They have been pretty much all over, but specifically, I have a question. Do you feel as though Lonzo Ball is a bust?
I mean, throughout the first 20 games of the season, he hasn't actually been putting up to his full potential. I actually don't think that he's a bust right now, because in my opinion, his stats, his stats are not showing the way he should be playing. But if you actually add two or three more points to his points per game, he'll average 11 points per game, around 7 assists per game, and 8 rebounds per game. In my eyes, that doesn't spell bust. I just think that he needs to work on his offense, be more aggressive. Maybe next season, when he gets more prepared to coaching staff and his facility and everything, his training facility, he'll come back strong next season. But this season is not his season. So right now, I would say that he's not a bust. But if he continues to put on the same numbers next season, then yes, he'll be a bust.
I mean, and I agree with you. He's averaging 9 points, 7 rebounds, and 7.2 assists. So it's not bad for a rookie necessarily. It's just my problem is the way Magic Johnson kind of gave us this. He would be this phenomenal guy coming out and breaking records and things like that. So my expectations were a little bit higher. So
yeah.
As well, the Lakers are 8-13. It's not great because I mean it's still the beginning of the season, so they have time.
And they're in the 11th seed right now in the Western Conference, and how strong the Western Conference is being 11th seed for a growing team and a young team. That's not. I mean, still, it could use some improvement clearly, but it's still not bad for a young team who is. I think their average age is maybe 24 years old, 25. Mm-hmm. So again, being 8-13 is in the Western Conference, it's not bad.
Yeah, they definitely have time to build, and you have Kyle Kuzma there as well.
Yep.
And it's not a bad team.
Yep.
Next, we'll get an update on the AFC playoff picture from Jake and Justin as we approach the final weeks of the NFL season.
Hello everyone, I'm Justin Rodriguez.
And I'm Jake McDonald.
And welcome to the last segment of the NFL section of the wrap-up. And we're going to go with the more interesting side, the AFC and the wild card. That's going to be pretty interesting right now, the way it's kind of playing out.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, I mean, the AFC North and AFC East are pretty much set with the Steelers and Patriots.
Right.
Beyond that, it's kind of a mixed bag. The AFC South is likely going to come down to either the Titans or the Jaguars, with one of those teams grabbing the number 5 seed. Unless
it's just awesome that those two teams are up there, honestly.
And if you made me pick right now which one's going to get the division, I think it's going to be the Jaguars. I think they have a much better team overall. And then the AFC West, really, it could be anybody except the Broncos right now. The Chargers really are the hot team after the slow start they had.
Like right now, I think the Chargers have, honestly, the keys to it right now. It seems that way because the Chiefs are kind of getting. We've kind of seen 2 or 3 straight weeks of just kind of mediocrity and losing all those games. And then the Raiders have kind of just been on and off, and they're also going to be missing some key receivers too. So I don't know. The Chargers seem like a favorite right now in the AFC West.
I'm hesitant to crown them the AFC West champs though, because they always seem to find ways to lose.
Right.
They seem to have a curse to them.
Yeah, not having a kicker might be an issue for them.
Exactly. But really, the number 6 seed is what it's going to come down to, because there are 5 or 6 teams fighting for that spot right now. Right now, the Ravens and the Bills are the top teams, both at 6 and 5. And if we're looking right now, the Bills have to play the Patriots twice still, and the Ravens remaining schedule. I mean, they have 2 tough games coming up: home against the Lions and away against the Steelers. But after that, they play at Cleveland, then home against the Colts and the Bengals. Between a lot of these teams, the Ravens are kind of in the middle as far as their schedule. But if you have to ask me which team's going to grab that 6th spot, as much as I don't want the Ravens to make the playoffs, I think they're going to.
I think they will too. I mean, their defensive side of the ball, mainly like that pass defense, I didn't really pay too much attention to it, but it's like a top 10 pass defense. Had no idea. So, I mean, that's kind of what won them the Texans game, I thought too, when I watched it. But yeah, it's going to be interesting in the AFC. It's not like the NFC where it's just like all these top powerhouses. It's going to be a little bit of a mix-up, especially with the Chiefs kind of just looking like the Chiefs. So Yeah, I guess that's all we have for this segment. So it's
Yep.
been a great semester.
Finally, we'll get the first college basketball segment with Matt and the wrap-up debut of Corey Zimmerman.
Thanks, Sarah. Welcome to the first NCAA basketball segment we have for the wrap-up this semester. Of course, the last episode of the semester. I want to start off just by talking about which conferences are going to continue their domination in basketball, which conferences are going to drop off. Starting off for me, obviously the ACC and the Big 12 are the two at the top. I mean, the ACC is 9-1 at this point in the ACC Big 10 Challenge. I mean, just complete Duke at 1, Notre Dame at 5, Miami at 10, North Carolina at 13, Louisville at 17, Virginia at 18, and all of those teams can be a threat in the national tournament. The ACC is the best conference in college basketball, top to bottom, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no disagreement between me and you on the conferences at the top. Big 12 and ACC are always there. We can't disagree on that. Big 12, you got Kansas, Baylor, Texas A&M, Kansas.
West Virginia always makes noise
West
in the
Virginia,
tournament.
they had a tough matchup against Texas A&M at the beginning of the year. Tough loss, but they'll be there at the end.
Now, I have two conferences that are in big trouble, the Pac-12 and the Big 10. The Big 10 have Michigan State and Minnesota. Michigan State is 3, and they're a favorite for me as of right now to win the national championship. They just unbelievable. But what happened to Arizona? Go from number 2 at the beginning of Thanksgiving break. You go 0 for 4 at the Battle for Atlantis and go from 2 to unranked. I mean, the Pac-12 really only has USC and Arizona, their bright spots on the conference, but I don't see either of them competing to go far. I mean, maybe not even an Elite 8 spot this year.
Yeah, and I will throw even another conference in there, the SEC. The SEC, I don't think really has the strength. I mean, you look at Kentucky, they have all freshmen, and I've seen them play at the beginning of the year, and they've struggled against just about every single team. But yeah, we talk about the Pac-12. Arizona fell from 2 to unranked. They're without Raul Atkins right now. That's a big loss. He's a upperclassman. DeAndre Ayton, freshman, big man. Right now, he's looking to lead that team, and right now he can't do that. So Sean Miller, he'll get them back on track. They'll be in the tournament. They'll probably make some noise, but I don't know how much noise.
Right. For Corey Zimmerman, I'm Matt Locke. We're going to kick it back to Sarah.
That's all we have this semester for the wrap-up. Join us again in the spring for all the info you need to keep up with the sports world. For the entire wrap-up crew, I'm Sarah Jones, signing off one last time this fall.